After the time trial, back to racing, and what a day we had. Stage 5, Salines-les-Bains beckoned, and a gentle introduction on the plains before a looping stage with some high ground at the very end. Coming past the start-finish line of our final loop with 49 kilometres remaining, suddenly we were playing with the mountains, announcing almost those still to come. Well, not exactly alpine today, but a category 2 test late on with ramps of 10% was always going to be a challenge. So it needed a strong breakaway, and we got one. That gentle introduction to the mountains was cast aside very soon. Van Hils stepping onto the bike, unfortunately, but Niels Pollitt from Bora Hansgrohe, Zimmermann from Intermarché, Bosenhagen from Total Energies, Gregar from UNO-X, Heinzke from DSM, and Thomas de Gendt, of course, from Lotto Destiny. Amazing efforts put in by Soudal Quickstep, trying to tee up Julian Alaphilippe. Well, the sweat was there to see, almost defining the breakaway. They had to exchange beautifully, and they did, keeping a margin that was gradually, slowly but surely being wound in before we got to the high ground. The question is, who would be brave enough to pop out of the pack and take it on? Well, the principals were coming up to the fore, and as you can see, despite finishing second in the time trial to Michiel Biao, Vingegaard was pressing go amongst the favourites, and the gap was tumbling down to 21 seconds as we started our climb, and just at the foot of it, down went Michiel Biao, carrying the yellow jersey. He had hopes that if he'd stayed within that chasing group, maybe he would hold on to yellow. Well, kicking on was Richard Carapaz along with Julian Alaphilippe, with Vingegaard hot on their heels. Alaphilippe, realising that 9 and 10% was just a bit too much for him on the day, he decided to start tempoing, and the breakaway finally killed off, with Gregar being found there by a charging Carapaz, and tucking in behind him, of course, Vingegaard. Well, Vingegaard looked into the eyes of Carapaz, saw a lack of belief, and kicked on. It was absolutely remarkable. Well, Carapaz had a desperate time trial the day prior, which is why he wanted to make a statement today. Vingegaard, we thought, may have left something on the road, and along with his disappointment at not winning the time trial and handing it to Biao. Well, Danes 1 and 2 yesterday, but Vingegaard was absolutely crusading at the top. It was remarkable. Majka decided to try and drag Adam Yates into the fray. This was a group of principals who just could not work together to close the gap on Vingegaard. Once he went over the top, a descent beckoned. The rain came down, just a few spots of it, but it didn't dampen this man's enthusiasm, and he kicked on. Bernal came out of the group. Ben O'Connor was haranguing those around, saying, come on, we need to share the duties if we're going to catch Vingegaard. But there was no catching him. He's on amazing form, crossing the line with an ultimate advantage of 31 seconds. Well, O'Connor throwing a chain, lost a bit of time, which was given back to him late on. In fact, he sits second overall. Julian Alaphilippe led home a charge, but it was all about Vingegaard. Not expected to win today, was expected to win the time trial. Well, he swapped duties, didn't he? Quite remarkable. On stellar form, Vingegaard is not only our stage winner, but also our leader by an amazing margin. Well, there were some big gaps out there. Minor positions only. Fred Wright for Bahrain victorious, throwing it at the line. So Vingegaard leads by well over a minute from Ben O'Connor, with another rolling stage tomorrow, and then the very high ground with Croix-de-Fer, Madeleine, Mollard, Grenier, Porte, you name it. There's a lot of racing still to be had here. That's how we stack up overall. Vingegaard in yellow by a margin of 1 minute and 10 over O'Connor. Alaphilippe at 1:23. Yates, Grosshartner, Hindley, Haig, Martinez, Biao, they're all there. But all of them looking a long way down the road where they see that yellow jersey. Who could take it off the back of Vingegaard? Possibly not many. Tomorrow they'll give it a go with 170 kilometres to Crest-Voland. At the end of the day, as is always the case with this race, we've no idea who's going to win it. But it will be royally entertaining. The Dauphiné has proved to be a spectacular race. So, some gnarly finale tomorrow. Our first uphill finish. In fact, it's uphill all the way to Grenoble. Join us again for the Dauphiné as we resume hostilities on Friday.